How's it going? It's Michael again at the San Diego Comic-Con 2024 with IdeateTV, and I am here with
Matthew Parham,
Carin Gilfry,
and Tim Friedlander.
And tell everyone what you do and why you're here.
We are the National Association of Voice Actors. I am the Director of Operations.
I'm the Vice President of NAVA. Sorry.
And I am the president of NAVA and the co-founder along with Carin.
Wow, I can't believe I'm with the president and the vice president. So tell us about your organization.
Sure. We are a national social impact nonprofit, and we advocate for the rights of voice actors and the entire voice acting industry, specifically around the issues of AI and emerging tech.
Yeah, there have been a lot of instances recently of voice actors having their voices used without their consent for projects and all kinds of things that they didn't give permission for, and so that's one thing that we're really fighting for.
Yeah, that's what I've been noticing. I like to go on TikTok a lot, and there are people that are AIing like Joe Rogan's voice and these other celebrities' voices, making statements about this and that, trying to, perpetuate somebody's personality and somebody's, online presence.
Yeah.
So what are some of the things are you doing to offset that?
We actually engage in a lot of advocacy at the federal level. So we've been to DC at least 3 times, meeting with over 25 senators, representatives, advocating for 2 specific bills that will provide federal rights of publicity for our voices. And those bills are
the No Fakes Act in the Senate and the No AI Fraud Act in the House of Representatives.
Anything else, Mr. President?
In addition to that, we've been lots of education, so trying to educate actors as well, so educators, producers, agents know what to look out for and what to be aware of in working with this new tech.
And you're at San Diego Comic-Con to...
We're going to be on a panel today all about AI and performing. So it's very, very topical and something that we know a lot about.
Yeah, as a voice actor, I had no idea that your organization existed, so I'm glad I'm here.
A future member. Right
yeah, now how do people find you?
NAVAvoices.org. Yep, NAVA, N-A-V-A voices.org.
And is there a membership or anything?
Yeah, you fill out a member application. We are a professional organization, so we are only for professional voice actors. So as part of your application, you have to show 3 to 5 examples of your work as a professional voice actor, and then it goes through our committee, we approve you, and there's a low fee. It's $175 per year.
So we go online. Do we prove our credits or actual VO demo tape?
Through your credits, website, IMDb. Maybe you have some, coaches or agents you've worked with. Sometimes producers you've worked with. If you have an NDA, you can have them send over, a resume or something for you to vouch for that work you've done.
So it's okay to be represented by a voiceover agent.
Absolutely.
Like Vox.
Absolutely. Yes. I'm with Atlas. You're with Atlas. We're with Atlas.
Are you with Vox? I'm also with Vox.
Vox.
No way.
So.
Nice.
Agency
Nice.
friend,
Very
my
nice.
agency brother. Yeah, oh, it's great. Oh, it's awesome.
out of office.
Whatever.
Nice.
I love it. I love it.
You're all voiceover actors?
Yes. I do video games and commercial, and that's pretty much it.
And any other projects?
I mean, I'm technically Captain America in a Marvel project that's on YouTube. Yes.
And where can the people find that?
Praise me. Just search Marvel Mech Strike on YouTube, Marvel's HQ channel. You'll see me as Captain America. And even if you aren't a voice actor and want to support our organization, just go to NAVAvoices.org/donates to help us further our cause.
I had no idea you were so prolific, Matthew. And what are some of the voiceover projects you've done?
I do a ton of commercials, but I also narrate a lot of true crime shows. So if you watch Oxygen and you want to watch, Final Moments or Sleeping with Death or...
My favorite is Deadly Affairs.
Oh, yes, Deadly Affairs, of course. We love true crime. But I do a lot of commercials and I'm in a few video games and stuff. So, yeah.
How about you, Tim?
Same here. A few video games, and I'm currently the voice of Pro Bowl running on summer series on CBS.
Mm-hmm.
So,
How did you guys get involved in doing voiceover work?
you have a great voice. You should be on radio. That's how I got started with it, which is in the 90s, and that was the death knell of any voice actor is to be like, you should be on the radio. I left for a long time. I got back in 2014. Went full-time in 2016 and working from kind of all aspects of it, from the industry side as well as production, payroll, and casting and everything. So kind of all sides of the industry.
So how did you take the first step in diving into the voiceover world?
My first step was doing a commercial for a friend. So they had a spot and they needed me to do something on the radio. And so we jumped in and went to a radio station and recorded a commercial for a summer theater. Yeah, Shakespeare Summer Theater Festival is what it was for on the radio in Washington. Yeah.
When people ask me how I got into voiceovers, I tell them by accident, and I've noticed that that's most people's stories.
A lot of people have fallen into it. It's kind of one of those things that you just kind of discover it. There are some people who are like, they go on that path to try and really pursue being in, but that's sometimes a very specific genre. It's like, I want to be on the radio, or I want to do anime. Those of us who kind of have fallen into like the genre of voiceover, or the career of voiceover, the industry is very much something we just have kind of fallen into in probably the very same way you have, Yeah.
And what about you? How did you get started?
I was an opera singer first, and I worked professionally as an opera singer for a few years, and then I had a friend who was narrating audiobooks, and opera was just sucking my soul. And so I decided to switch over into audiobooks, and I built a home studio, and I made profiles online, and I just hit the ground running. I had no idea there was even an industry that I needed to join that had agents and in-person casting or anything like that, which is now not so much a thing since the pandemic, but that's basically it. Yeah.
So what you did was put it out there and let them find you?
No, I audition between 5 and 30 times a day. So it is a constant hustle in voiceover. And I work with some of the biggest brands in the nation, in the world, but I'm still out there getting work every single day, making a full-time living as a voice actor, supporting my family, but still working hard every day.
I know some people that dress up as the character, even though nobody's going to see them, even if they're at home, to record something. Is that something you do?
I mean, dress for the job you want, right?
You have a dagger?
You have a dagger? No. Well, when you're acting in the booth, it's just you and your voice. So anything that you have that isn't going to make sound in your booth that can help you get into character, I think is definitely helpful. So if it helps you to dress as the character, you do you, man.
Dresses as Captain America in every session.
How about you, Matthew? How did you get started?
I was a pandemic pivot for me. So I did like a lot of hip hop and rock and roll. And then when the pandemic shut down everything, I was just looking for something I could do with my studio equipment at home. And I went to my friend's house, this guy, and we do music together as well. And I saw a copy laying around. I picked it up and read it. And he was like, wow, you're actually pretty good. So you should maybe pursue this. So I started taking coaching, classes, anything I could find online, and just researched and went to iwanttobeavoiceactor.com and read everything and then started audition online.
And if you ever heard this note, can you take off the chains? The chains would be better if it's off.
Mostly my bracelets, but yeah, I get that. I get that a lot.
Like corduroy and nylon, right? So what do you guys see the future of voiceover in the next 5 years in regards to AI? What would you like to see?
What would we like to see, or what do we think we're going to see? Because if we go, what do we think we're going to see? I think it's too early to tell. I think that we really have to look at what's going to happen in the next year to 2 years to really determine what's going to happen in the next 5 years. And I think a lot of what happens with the strike that's happening right now with SAG-AFTRA, getting those protections in place, will trickle down to the rest of the industry. What we're doing with NAVA will trickle up, and we'll kind of meet in the middle and find something that's going to work for what we think is everybody in there. And I think we have to look at, I think it's dangerous to look too far ahead because we're going to miss what's happening right now. We have to look at what's happening right now in order to set the stage for what's going to happen in the next 10 years.
Good point. How about you?
We're taking kind of a three-pronged approach when it comes to this, and that's education, legislation, and contracts. The legislation portion, we've been fighting a lot and talking to lots of different people who make the laws to make sure that we all of us in the whole world, or in the United States at least, have the rights to our voice, image, name, and likeness. The contracts portion is incredibly important, and it was just announced at the end of last week that SAG-AFTRA is striking their interactive media agreement, which is video games, and that has a large part to do with AI protections. They want we all want AI protections in video games because it's so easy to just take someone's image and voice and recreate it and do all kinds of stuff with it. And so we stand with SAG-AFTRA, and we are fighting for those protections as well.
Thank you. Matthew, anything to add?
I'm opting not to predict what will happen in the next 5 years. I want to determine what happens through our advocacy, through our work. So I don't know what they have planned for the future, but I know what we want to see, and we're going to make sure that happens according to true congruence and harmony with our artistry and also our innovation as well.
And what's happening right now in regards to that right now?
We are in the basic level. We're doing is starting with contracts and trying to get contracts in place, protections in place that have AI safeguards in place for those among all the contracts. That's the hardest thing, is that there are multiple contracts, multiple genres that everybody works under, and making sure that each of those has that. On a global level, we work with a group called the United Voice Artists Federation, which NAVA helped found a year ago. We're working on help with legislation in the EU around the EU AI Act, and then we're working in all of the individual countries to make sure that what we can help implement here in the United States can also be implemented and at least thought about in other countries as they go forward and as the tech reaches other countries.
And how long has your organization been in effect?
Not that long, actually. We opened up membership in November of 22, so it hasn't been that long. We formed before that, but it's only been not that long. But we have close to 2,000 members now, and there are hundreds of thousands of voice actors that exist in the world, and we're working for all of them, not just our members.
So as far as the SAG-AFTRA strike with video games right now, can some of these companies still operate on an interim agreement during the strike?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's one thing that we are really pushing for, is for all companies that want to keep working during the strike to please go and figure out how to sign an interim agreement under the new SAG-AFTRA interactive agreement. So you can do that, and we can help.
Yep, NAVA will help. We actually have we've hired somebody on staff to help companies who want to convert and want to work under an interim agreement. NAVA will help walk through the process, and they can reach out to us, and we'll help them with that process.
And this is true for non-union games as well. If there are non-union games that would like to be under a union contract, they can sign an interim agreement, and we can help them do that and bring everything under the union umbrella, which has the strongest AI protections. I'm advocating for that.
So for a company like PCB Entertainment, who I love working for, that's a company that could sign an interim agreement in order to keep your content going?
Lots of options, absolutely, and we'll help them walk them through that process from start to finish.
Right.
Yeah.
They said it all. What else can I say? But yes.
Fantastic. I'm here with the National Association of Voice Actors.
Yep.
Tell me your name again.
Tim Friedlander.
Carin Gilfry.
Matthew Parham.
Captain America. Do you have a mighty shield that you can throw? Okay. Last but not least, any advice you have for anybody out there wanting to get into voiceover?
Do it now, and know that it's going to be a journey that you have to commit to for the long run.
It's like starting a small business. If you want to be, the greatest photographer in the world, you got to think of it as a business. If you want to be a great voice actor, you have to think of it as a business. So that's the advice I would give.
Matthew, any advice for diverse performers?
Yes, be unapologetically yourself. Don't try to morph or code switch into something else. The industry wants your true, authentic self. So approach it. Always be a student of yourself and also of the industry, and have fun.
Thanks, you guys, for spending time with us. I know you guys got to get to a panel.
Yep.